Good morning, Tanvi. We are going to wait for more 5 minutes. We'll start our session at 7:45. So please ask your friends to join as soon as possible. Okay. Good morning, all. Am I audible? Okay, fine. Thank you, Tanvi. So in today's lab, what we're going to learn, we're going to learn how you're going to train your first machine learning model. Fine. So in today's lab, we are going to take a data set. I'm going to share a data set with you. We are going to do some EDA analysis, like finding out the maximum value, minimum values, whether our data set is having any null values or not. Fine. So first of all, these tasks will be done on a data set. After that, what we are going to do, we are going to we are going to train our first linear regression model. So you all are familiar with linear regression model? Are you all familiar with linear regression? Yes, fine. So today we are going to train our linear regression model. To just say we are having, let me share the dataset link with you. So in this data set, we have two features are there. First is experience and salary. So on the basis of an experience of a person, a salary is given. So we need to train our model to find out when we are going to give a experience as a parameter to our function, it is going to tell us the expected salary of a person. Fine. So just tell me, will this be called as a prediction model or a classification model? Then we prediction question mark. Okay, fine. Anyone else? Now tell me why the question mark is there. Why did you put a question mark? Why are not confirmed? JSS prediction model. Okay, fine, Jay. Tell me because it might be a classification. I'm not sure. Okay, fine. Let me tell you the difference between the classification and prediction model. When we talk about the prediction model, in prediction model, we are generally going to find some continuous value. Depending upon the certain features, we are going to find a continuous value. Now continuous value cannot be a label. Fine, it can be n numbers of values. Fine, that means you are going to predict something. When you say predict something, it is going to be a continuous value. And when you talk about a continuous value, it is going to be a prediction model, that is regression. Now when I say we want to classify such that, like I say, whether the person is going to pass or not, whether the person is going to buy a given product or not. So you can see here the minimum some labels are there: yes or no, pass or not pass or fail, or say just take out, just say like in a simple term, like in cyber security, we are having a different types of attacks. So in our networks, we are going to pass some packets and all. Depending on the packets, you can say different types of attack is going to happen. Like just say DOS attack, uh, spying, wrong setup, many are there. So you can see in this, in the case of classification, the label are going to be fixed. Fine, it can be two. Minimum two is required. Minimum two. So that we call as a two when we have a two different labels, only just two labels. We call it as a binary classification problem. When we have three labels, ternary classification problem, and then we go for an n classification problem. So till now, majority of the case in the machine learning, I have seen maximum of 10 classification problem, maximum 10 labels you can have. I haven't seen more than 10 till now. But when we talk about the classification problem, we are talking about the labels. And when we talk about the prediction model, we are talking about the continuous value. So you just need to find out. Like I said, we are going to have an experience and a salary. So depending upon the experience of a person, we are going to find out the salary. Now, salary cannot be a label. Now, if I say whether the person is going to fall into class 1 salary, class 2 salary, class 3 salary, in that case, we can say it as a classification problem. But if we talk about the numerical values, we can call it as a prediction problem. Am I clear to all? Okay, fine. Now I'm sharing you the link of the data set. Let me share a data set. I'm giving you 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes. So what you need to do, you just need to read the data set in your system and do some ED analysis, like finding the maximum value, minimum value, and all, standard deviation, quartiles, and all. Fine. So just need to download this data set. It's just a 1 KB file, not much a huge data set. Then you need to read the data. It is CSV file, so read it using a CSV, read underscore CSV, and do some ED analysis on this data set to find out. So I hope you have completed the IDA analysis on the data set. Just tell me, do the data set contains a null value? Do we have null value in our data set? Any missing values? Okay, okay, fine. Can we please go ahead? So tell me now, Tanvi, do we have any missing values in our data? And other people, Jay, Ajhar, Ronak, Dipen, Vikas, Neil, Dhiman, do we have any missing values in our data set? Anyone else? No one. Okay, fine. So we are not having any missing values. Now you already know if what we have to do when we have missing values. Now since these was the totally a numerical data, we don't have any categorical data in our data set currently. So if you are having any missing values, what you can do, if the number of data points is huge, you can drop the those missing values data, or else what you can do, you can impute the missing values with a mean, median, fine. That's it. So let's dive into a practical here. Let me so write a program to explain the how you're going to implement linear regression. Okay, let's start our codes now. Before applying any ML technique, First of all, we need to read the data set. Fine. So just for that we need to import the packages. To import, give the heading linear regression model. Import pandas as PD. Import numpy as np. Import matplotlib dot pyplot as plp. We're importing matplotlib for visualization. Now let us read the data. Dataset dot dataset equal to pd dot read underscore csv. Now we need to specify the path of the file will be here. Fine. Dot csv file. Let us run this code to see our data first of all. Okay, fine. So we can successfully we read the data from our folders. So it is going to be, since we are using a panda, so it is going to create a data frame. You can see we are having just two features here. One is years of experience and another is salary. So depending upon the years of experience, some salary has been given here. Fine. Now we already know, I've already taught you like in the past classes that whenever you're going to feed data into a machine learning model, we need an array of data. Fine. That means we need to convert this data frame into a numpy array. So first of all, x equal to, now is going to be just the first features, that is years of experience, and y is going to be a salary. So x equal to data set dot ilog. We need whole rows column. Again we need all column except the last one. This is a you can say it is a generalized formula. If like if you are having a multiple number of features, like if you are having 10 number of features, the 11th feature is going to be a dependent variable which you need to predict. So you can just directly write column minus 1. What does this means? I want all columns except the last one. Again y dot dataset dot ilog. I want all rows, and you can give the column number which we want. So it is going to first column, since the indexing is going to start from 0 in Python. Now this is going to create a data frame, not a numpy array. So for creating a numpy array, we need to add values, dot values. Let us check it out. So it's going, it is running successfully. No errors are there. Now just tell me, when I say x dot shape, it is saying 30 comma 1. When I say y dot shape, it is saying 30 comma. Now anyone please tell me the difference between this one. When I say x dot shape, the shape of x is going to be 30 comma 1. When I say y dot shape, the shape of y is going to be 30 comma. That's it. Can you find tell me the shape of what is the dimension of x and y? Anyone? What is the dimension of x and y? Tell me, because we don't want the last one. Tell me, my question is that what if I say the shape of the data is 30 comma 1, and I say the shape of y is going to be 30 comma, that's it. So just tell me first of all, what is the shape dimension of x? How many rows and columns are going to be in x? When I say dimension, I am talking about rows and column. So how many rows and columns are there in x? X 30 rows, one column. Fine. What about y? Only 30 rows. Fine. So see, just tell me. Let me tell you one thing. Now what's happening here? When I say x comma y, when you talk about the shape dimension of our data, when I say shape of our data, it is going to return x comma y, where x means number of rows and y means numbers of column. Fine. So in case of x, we are having 30 comma 1. So number of rows is going to be a 30, number of column is going to be 1. When I say y, 30 comma, that's it. We don't know anything whether it is a one dimensional data also. When we say 30 comma 1 here, so in this case we can say we are having 30 rows, one column. That's why we're saying 30 cross 1. But in this case we don't know number of rows, number of column. We can't say that 30 is a number of rows or 30 is a number of column. Tell me, did you get me? We can't say whether it is a 30 numbers of rows or 30 number of columns. Fine. If it was say like just like that, 30 number of rows, then we can say 30 rows, one column. But without any 1 or 2, any number here, we can't say it is whether it is having a row or a column. Fine. So this is going to, and again, when you're going to train our machine learning model, it is going to conflict our model. So we need to reshape our data. What do you mean by reshaping your data? Then we don't have any name for it. So for that only we are going to reshape our data. Reshape our data, that means we are going to reshape it according to the x. Fine. Now let me show you. Y equal to y dot reshape. Now reshape command is used, can be used with numpy also. You can also use it with pandas. It's totally upon you. You can use with any of them. Fine. So reshape is command is used to reshape our data. Reshaping our data means going to convert into rows and column. Fine. So when I say minus 1 comma 1, it is going to make into 30 rows and one column. You can say now. Now y dot shape is going to 30 comma 1. If I say 1 comma 1, I will say 1 comma minus 1. You can see now it is going to be 1 row 30 column. Y dot shape. So this command y dot reshape minus 1 comma 1 is going to convert into rows, 30 number of all data into rows. Minus 1 means we are talking about rows, and 1, that means we need a one column. Now when I say this one, when I say 1 minus 1, I am saying that I am talking about just one rows, that's it, and all data should be in column. Now also what you can do, you can transform this data into rows and column, like, but you need to remember the number of rows and columns should be equal to number of data. If I say 5 comma 6, 5 means 5 rows 6 columns, so 5 into 6 is going to be 30. So no problem, we can convert the y into 5 comma 6. So you check it out now. It is going to convert into 5 rows and 6 different columns. So similarly we are going to do for minus 1 comma 1 for converting them into 30 rows and 1 column. Am I clear? The receive dot receive comma function. Fine. Now just tell me one thing. Are you all familiar with training set, test set, splitting and all? Or do you need an explanation on that? See, after reading the data, after preparing the X and Y, so we need to split our data. See, there may be a scenario that you are going to get the training data, you are going to get the separate test data. But majority of the time, we are just going to get the training data. You are not going to have any test data to test your model. So what we generally do, we are going to partition this training data into two different sets. One is training set and another one is test set. We are going to divide the whole training set only into two different sets, training set and test set. Fine. Now, now today you are going to see majority of the work which we are going to perform in machine learning. For that, we are going to use sklearn package. Sklearn package is going to process each and everything of the machine learning. So train and test, though we need to split the data into train and test. Now see, from sklearn dot. So inside the sklearn package, you are having a model selection. And from here, we are going to import train train test split function. Fine. So this function is going to help us to split the data into training set and test set. Now we need to create a four different variable here: x train, x test, y train, and y test. Fine. Now you need to call the function here, function calling. We need to pass an array. So what is an array here? X and y. So we are going to pass x comma y. Now we need to pass the test size. Now what is the test size you want of your data set? Like how you want to split your data set? 50%, 70% training, 30% testing, or 80% training, 20% testing. It totally depend upon you, whatever you want to go. But generally, what we generally go for 70-30, 7:3 ratio, 70:30. It is 70% is going for training data and 30% going to for test data. But again, it is totally going to depend upon your data set, number of data you are having. So let's just say if you are having a huge number of data set, like let's say 10 lakh data set you are having. In that case, you can go for 90 and 10. Fine. Now, also what you can do, you can give a fractional value. Just say you don't want to give a percentage here. So you can say 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 means 67% is going to for training data and 33.33% is going for a test data. Now one important term is there, random state. Random state equal to 0. See, each and every time in machine learning model, when you are going to use a SQL package, fine, they are going to feed some random number. They are going to generate some random number and they are going to feed some random number. Fine. So why are you saying random state equal to 0? So that even you are going to run this model again and again, your value is not going to change. Now when I say train test split, here what is going to happen? They are going to shuffle your data point also. That means maybe that number 10 data point is going to be a number 1 now, like just like that. So if I'm changing the random state equal to, I'm not giving the argument random state equal to 0. That means it is we don't know which feature is going to be in training set, which which data is going to be in training set, which data is going to be in test set. Now, in case of regression model, it's fine since we are going to predict a continuous value. But when we are talking about a classification model, so let's just say if you're having a binary classification in test set, you're having in the first time when you run in the test set, you're having a 20 class for a class 0 and 20 class 1, no problem. But second time you need to show your program with your faculty, and you what you've done for the first program, you have noted down the accuracy and all. Now, but when you are going to run for a second time, fine, you haven't given the random statically 0. So maybe there is a chances that in the test set, instead of having a 20 class 0, it is going to have 30 class 0 and 10 class 1. So this is going to totally change your accuracy and all of the model. Fine. So for that purpose only, we are going to use random statically 0 so that it is going to have the same train and test split data each and every time. Now let's check. Fine. Now you can see here we are having a xtrain. 20 data points are here in xtrain. In xtest we are having a 10 data point. Since we are having a 30 data point, so you can see we are having a total data is equal to 30, and test data we said 1 by 3. So training is going to be 20 and test is going to be 10. Now after splitting the data into training set and test set, now we are going to implement our linear regression model. Now again, see, the concept of linear regression is going to be a little bit tough for you, but I don't know. It is very much easy since you just need to create a y equal to mx plus c. You just need to create a straight line for fitting your data. But while writing the code, since we are not going to do a hard line coding, we are just going to import the library and use. So you can see it is a very easy task here. Just let me show you in just 3 lines. I'm going to complete the whole machine learning code. These are a data analysis part and all. Find reading a data, splitting data. These are just not the machine learning part. The machine learning part is going to be coming from here. ML model. Fine. So from sklearn, again you can see from sklearn package, we are having a linear module. Linear model module. Import linear regression. We imported a linear regression class. We need to create an object of this class. Let's say lin equal to linear regression. We are going to create an object here. Fine. Now we just need to feed this data now. Lin dot fit what x train and y train. X train comma y train. And that's it. We have completed our model. Let me run it and show you one by one. Model has been imported correctly. We are creating object of this linear regression class. Then we are going to fit the data. Done. You can see linear regression model has been completed now. Fine. Now we after training our model, we need to test our data. Fine. For that, we are going to say take a variable y underscore pred. It is going to find a predicted value. So lin dot predict. We need to pass x test. Fine. Now we have our predicted data. You can see. Let's check our what was the true data. Y, it will be y test, right? Yeah. Fine. So this is an original value, that is you can say a true value. This is a true value and this is a predicted value. So here you can see 37,731 was the salary, but it is predicted that it is going to be 40,000. Okay, fine. It is just difference of 3,000 approx. So with your naked eye, you can't confirm it. What are the errors in your data output? So for that purpose only, we are going to find out some errors in our data. Am I clear till now? Am I clear to all how we are going to implement the linear regression model? Okay. Now just tell me one thing. How you are going to find out the error? When we talk about the regression model, are we going to use confusion matrix here to find out the error? Can we use a confusion matrix here? See, I'm not expecting a correct answer. You can say maybe yes. Okay, fine. What about others? Can we use a confusion matrix here? Nimesh, what do you think? So see, we can't use a confusion matrix here. Then when you talk about a confusion matrix is mainly generally, not generally, it is used only for finding the errors in the classification model. You know, true positive, true negative, false negative. So how are you going to say true positive? The model says, like just say, it says that it is going to rain today, and it rains. So we can say true positive. Fine. But when we say your salary is going to be 80,000 rupees, but you got the salary of 70,000. So you can't say true positive, true negative term here. So we are going to have something else. So one question was already there in your mid sem. One question was related to the same data, linear regression model only. Do you remember anyone? They was to calculate an error in the mid sem paper, mid sem one. RMSE, root mean square error. Did you all remember now? Yeah. So we are going to generate a root mean square error to find out the difference. So see, generally what we want, we want to find some differences. Let me show you. Let's say it is a y true, and this is our predicted data by our model. Fine. So y test was this one. Let's copy it. And y predicted data is this one. So simply you can find the error here. Error equal to differences between the y predicted and y true. Fine. Mainly we go for a modulus here equal to minus this one. Now after finding the error, we are going to square it, then we are going to find the root of these values. Fine. So for that, we already have a single line of code in Python. We are going to use it. Other than root mean square error, we have many more error. One is R2 square, R2 score. Another one is it was mean squared error, mean squared log error, and all. Fine. Let me show you. Again from sklearn dot matrix. At the matrix module, we are going to have a different functions which are going to help you to evaluate your model. In case of machine classification, you are going to have a confusion matrix. In case of regression, we are going to have something like this: R2 underscore score. You can see it is going to take the y true, y predicted value. Fine. It what is going to do? It is going to find a coefficient of determination, regression score function. It says best possible score is going to be 1, and it can be negative because the model can be arbitrary worse. So when your model is totally worse, it's going to be negative. Okay, and best possible value is 1. A constant value that always predicts the expected value of y. Disregarding the input feature would get a R2 of a score of 0.0. Sometimes what is going to happen? They are going to have we are going to have some features. Irrespective of the values, it is going to predict the value correctly. So in that case, we can say there is no error. But when we talk about the R2 score, it is going to be 0. That means it is performing not well. Fine. So R2 underscore score. Then we have a mean squared error. You see, there are many errors here: mean, gamma deviation, mean squared error, and all. Also, we have mean absolute error, ME, so mean squared error. And last one is we are going to talk about mean squared log error. Yeah, this one. Now, after having them, you just need to feed our data here. R2 underscore score. So y true. Y true is y train in our case and y prediction data. Let's check it out. The values here. Sorry, it is going to y test. Sorry. They're saying that y predict is going to be a 10, size of data is 10, and y train which I have inputted by wrong is of 20 data sets. So how it is going to find the error? Fine. So you need to have the same shape while finding it. So you see, we are close to 1. That means our model is performing very well. Our model is performing well. So let's check out different error here. Now, in case of Python, we don't have a root mean square error. So what we are going to use, we are going to find out mean square error, and we are going to use a np.sqrt package here. Fine. So mean square error, again y test is going to be something like this. So you can't understand what is this. So let's check it out. Mean squared error. So mean squared log error. So now you can put it into a np.sqrt package. np.sqrt is going to square root the value. Whatever value you want to put, you can put it out, put down, it is going to find the square root of these values. So one by one, since you don't have a print command, print statement, so it is going to just print a single one. So square root of this is going to be something 4585. Again, you can't understand the four numerical value for 4 to 5 digit. So when you talk about a percentage, talking about 0 to 1 values, just say if you are having your accuracy is going to lie between -1 and 1. So the closer to 1 means your model is performing very well. Closer to -1, your model is performing the worst. Closer to zero, nothing, neither good nor bad. Fine. So this is how after training the model you can check the errors in your data set. Now let us plot our problem here. Like let us see how our straight line is going to be generated here. So okay, fine. We have seen the error. We have trained the model and all. Let me visualize the data. I need to visualize our data. Now for that, we are going to use a matplotlib, that is visualization here. Let me use a magic function here, matplotlib. Fine. Plt.scatter. I think you are familiar with scatter plot. X underscore train, comma, Y underscore train. Color equal to red. Plt dot plot. So scatter is going to plot the individual data point. Plt dot plot is going to mainly try to draw a line between the two different points. So X train, comma, lin dot predict Y X underscore sorry, it is going to be X underscore train, comma, color equal to, take a different color here, blue. Now let's just put some title and all. Plt dot title. It is going to plot, give the title to our plot. Salary versus experience. We're talking about the training data. Training state. Plt dot x label. We're going to give the name in the x axis. It is going to be years of experience. And plt dot y label is going to be salary. That's it. Now plt dot show. Now we need to plot the visualization for test data also. Just copy paste the code. Just need to change the value here. It is going to be x test, y test, that is. So since we need to find a model, we need to plot the graph for training data only. So just you need to plt dot scatter x test and y test. Let us see the plots first of all for training data. Let's change it test set. Fine. Let's do it for training set. So you can check it out now. So you can see how our data is lying. The scatter plot is going to give you the view of your data, where your data is in x and y axis. You can see, and this straight line. Straight line is the predicted model generated for linear regression. So you can see the predicted model is very much close to a data point. So since that's why we are getting a very less error here. Now in case of test data, let's check it out. So you can see for test data also, that's why we are getting very less error. Most of the data point are close to a straight line. So this is the linear regression model, and this is the visualization of your model generated after training our data. Am I clear to all? Okay, fine. Now I'm going to paste this code in the chat box. What you can do, you can copy and paste it in your copy or notepad file so that you can use it for later purpose. You can directly use this code by just changing a data set. Fine. Uh, Before moving forward, tell me one thing. Are you all familiar with polynomial regression? Fine. So you all are familiar with polynomial regression. So I'm not going to dive in into the concept. Again, we're just going to implement the polynomial regression. Now we're going to apply the polynomial regression on the same data set here only. So here's polynomial. Now for polynomial regression, now what are the modules we are going to create? Access. Let me show you. Let me clear the variables and all. Fine. So we're not going to train split our data for time being. We're just going to train our whole model on the training data. This was the case when you have just a single training, single data where you don't have a separate test data. So in that case, you need to split the data. And I also told you that you are going when you are getting time, just go for problems running on Kaggle or HackerRed or HackerRank. You can see there are some many machine learning challenges are going on. There, what you are going to see, you are going to get that separate training data and separate test data. Fine. So you need to test your train your model on the whole training data, and you have to test your model on a separate test data. Fine. Now, so this is your data here. You can see. So for implementing the polynomial regression, we don't have any separate module here for linear regression. Fine. We don't have any separate module. So what we are going to do, we are going to generate a polynomial data for the given data set, and now this data set is going to fit into a linear regression model only. Let me explain once again. First of all, we are having the actual data. Now from this actual data, we are going to create a polynomial data. Fine. And this polynomial data is going to feed it into a simple linear regression model only. We don't have any separate module here for polynomial regression. Fine. Now, for that also we are going to use sklearn. From sklearn dot pre-processing. Inside the pre-processing model, we are having a polynomial features. So it's help us to extract or say make the polynomial feature. I will show you the outputs here, not to worry. And now import the normal package, linear model, linear model, import linear regression class. Now, now we need to create an object this for here, polynomial feature. Let me show you what our output is going to take. See what is going to say, it is going to generate polynomial and interaction features. Generates a new feature matrix consisting of all polynomial combination of feature with degree less than or equal to a specified degree. So whatever degree you are going to say, it is going to find out. Say, so if you are having an input sample is of two dimensions, so just say if you are having just two dimension data, let's say you are having two columns here, a and b. So what are the degree of two polynomial here? Features 1, a, b, a square, b square, and ab. So it is going to find out this particular fashion. Fine. Now for using a polynomial regression class, you need to create an object of this class. Just say let's create an object poly regression equal to polynomial regression, polynomial feature class. You need to specify the degree here. What the degree you want. Just say we are going to have degree equal to 4. So you can see it is going to find out the combination. Find the permutation. Yeah, I think you already know the term permutation combination. So here it is going to try each and every combination for a given data set and going to generate a feature here. Now after creating an object, we need to fit our data here. Say x underscore poly equal to poly dot reg dot fit transform. The data is x. So you can see our training data was x, this one, that is the experience of person, and x underscore poly. You can see it has generated a very totally new data set here. So it says 1 plus a square plus a cube plus a to the power 4 and something are there. So you can see 2 to the square, 2 cube, 2 to the power 4. Fine. So this is how it is going to, you are going to create a polynomial feature. Now after creating the polynomial feature, you just need to feed your data into a linear regression model. That's it. So let's create a feature here. Poly underscore reg dot fit x underscore poly comma y. Finally, you can see we have created our features and all. Now we need to create an object of this linear regression class. Again, lin equal to linear regression class. To create an object, now we need to fit the data. Lin dot fit. Now we need to fit which one? We need to feed x or x underscore poly? Which data set we need to fit in our? We have to put in our as a training set. Is x is our training set or x underscore poly is a training set? Anyone? X underscore poly, right? Since we have converted this one single features into a polynomial feature, now you just need to fit it here x underscore poly. Now that's it. Oh, sorry. You need to pass the y value also for training the data. So linear regression model has been trained. Now you can, what you can do, you can run the square here error only. Again, let's check the square and all. Sorry, you need to use x and y. So we need, first of all we need to predict the value, right? Y equal to y underscore predict equal to lin dot predict Inside the split function, you need to use a polynomial regression here. This one. So to transform your training, whatever data you want to now find out is going to be here. So it is going to be here. Hmm. You see, it is more closer to now 1, 0.96. Slightly less than the previous one. In previous one, we were having a 0.97. It is having 0.963. Now let us see the visualization. Visualization is going to give you a better idea. Fine. Let us check it out. Our input operand 1 has a mismatch in its code dimension. So you need to the dimension of your data x 30 comma 1. Okay, x is going to be 30 comma 5. It is going to be polynomial dot yes. X comma y x. It's given a lean dot predict. Sorry. After predicting the data, you need to plot the graph, right? So that's why we are having this abstract plotting and all. Fine. Should run perfectly now. Yes, fine. So you can see in case of linear regression, we are getting a straight line. In case of polynomial regression, you are going to get a curved line. Now what you can do, you can change the degree of polynomial to see the changing in the curve. So this is the code for your polynomial regression. So you need to keep in your mind, we don't have any separate module for polynomial regression. We are going to use a from the pre-processing module, we are going to have polynomial feature class. These polynomial features, we need to pass a degree, and depending upon a degree, we are going to find out something. Let us check it out. Maybe if you are increasing a degree of a function, let us see what is going to happen here. Now, I don't know. I'm just trying in front of you how the graph is going to be plotted here. Now you can check it out. When you're increasing the degree, the overfitting is going to happen here. We will try to find out each and every features. We're going to find out. Now when I say degree equal to 1, when I say degree equal to 1, it will be generating a straight line. The y equal to mx plus c. So you can go through these codes. You can apply different logics here. You can apply different degree, and you can check the output here. So in today's class, what we learned about the implementation of linear regression and polynomial regression in Python. Before that, before applying any ML model, you need to perform some AD analysis. Just say if you're having some missing values. Now, if I was having some missing values, our model is this is going to generate an error. This line of code. Yeah. When you are going to fit your data, it is going to generate an error saying missing values. So for that purpose only, we need to input the missing value or drop the missing value. After having the correct data set, now you can directly train your ML model. You can see we are just having 3 lines of codes are there. So most of the time, what you see when you talk about an ML, machine learning engineer or machine learning scientist and all, what they do most of the time is going to spend in these things. Again, these things are just reading the data. I'm just talking about the ED analysis and all, finding out the correlation between the data, how your data is going to help you to find the correct prediction of salary or not, parameter tuning and all. So trying like here in case of polynomial regression, I have shown you how you can apply different degree of polynomial, and you can check out the outputs and all, checking the errors like what is the error for degree equal to 1, what is the error for degree equal to 8, or our model is going to train better or not. Just say we are increasing a degree equal to 25. It is going to take some time because it has to create a 25 different features. So it will take some time. So feature now number of degree equal to 15 also it is going to take some time. This is like multiplying x for 15 times, x to the power 15, x to the power 10 and all. So am I clear to everyone? The implementation of linear regression and all. What about others in the class other than Tanvi? Am I clear to all? Okay, fine. So that's it for today's class. Let me take your attendance. So please check your name before leaving the class. Don't leave the meeting. Please check your name before leaving the class. Viraz, do you have any problem? Any question? So if you have any question, you can ask me. Or else, thank you everyone. You may leave the class now. Thank you. Tanvi and also by mistake. Okay, okay, Viraz, no issue. Thank you.